Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. My name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer and I love helping people improve their relationship with their homes. And every now and again on my channel, I do a reaction video to either a YouTuber, a television show, TikTok. It's been the most recent thing I've been reacting to. And today we're going to do something that may or may not get me canceled. I don't know. So long story short, as well as being a YouTuber, I actually consume a lot of YouTube content. And confession time, I love a little bit of mess. I would be outright lying to say that I have not watched people that have been deemed sort of problematic YouTubers. And one of them who I've been watching for a long time is actually Amberlynn Reid. Amberlynn gets a lot of negative reception because I think that there's a lot of frustrating sort of what seems to be self-sabotaging behaviors that she shows in her videos. But at the core of the situation, I do want to see her succeed. I'm not here to, bash her or to make fun of her. I do watch her and want the best for her, but I have seen lately that she's been doing some organizing content and I want to check it out. I was watching some of her videos and I just stopped and I was like, I think I'm going to react to this. I always want to be kind and compassionate if I'm watching someone else's content, I don't want to make fun of anybody, dunk on anybody, make them feel bad. I want to offer actionable, constructive advice if I see that maybe there's areas for opportunity, and celebrate when I feel like they're doing something really helpful and when they live with as many items as they feel that they can control and count. I think that's really great too. So I just want to see what's been going on in this universe in terms of organizing. I'm very intrigued and I thought you guys would enjoy it. So if you like this kind of content, thumbs up. I don't even know if I'm gonna publish this video. To be honest, I'm a little bit scared because I know that talking about this YouTuber is just maybe a road I don't want to go down, but I'm YOLO. Okay, so I'm not going to react to any of the other content. I'm just going to react to the organizing stuff, even though her dog is very cute. I'm going to skip that stuff and go right to the good stuff, right to the organizing.
Okay, so we're about to clean this random closet that we have in the hallway, just full of a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure how it's going to look afterwards, but here's a before. Okay, so we finished the closet.
I might want to go back and look to see what exactly we've got going on in there. Usually when I go over people's houses, I will ask them to show me around the house and talk to them about their daily routine and what their goals are in the space. I find a lot of information about people when they tell me about their day and about how they operate. And I ask them to walk me through everything that happens when they get home. Like, do you hang up your coat? Do you throw it on the chair? So I am curious as to what the purpose of this closet is because she said it was a random closet. So I always feel like everything in your home should be very purposeful as much as you can make it purposeful, which means your coat closet should be a place for coats, shoes, things that you need to go in and out of the house. And if this is a utility closet, then I wish that she would refer to it as so. This is the reason I don't use the term junk drawer. I think that referring to anything in your house as junk is a very slippery slope because it messes with the way that you actually think about items in your house. So instead of junk drawers, I like to tell my clients to call it a utility drawer, and utility means things that are useful. So you always keep things that are useful in there and you'll clear out all the things that you think are junk. So just a little psychological trick there. And I want to play the video. I just want to reiterate that I think a lot of organization and home relationship stuff is about 20% products, if you need those, and 80% behavior and mindset. So most of what I do is actually talking people through either habits that aren't really helpful for them or getting people to let go of items that are not useful for them anymore. So let's take a closer look. So I see we've got a hamper up here. I wonder why it's so high. Hamper is usually something that gets used frequently if you're doing laundry weekly or even bi-weekly, which can mean twice a week or every 2 weeks. I made it a point to stop using bi-monthly because it's confusing. But anyway, side note. If you're doing laundry pretty frequently, you might want to have that someplace where it's easy for you to get. I don't know. Let's see what else is up there. It looks like, is this like a cat carrier? There's a box here, another storage box here. I noticed the label is still on the storage box, the manufacturer's label. That's okay. I always ask clients to take those off and put an actual label so that you know what is inside. If the contents, if the box is opaque, you can't see inside. A really helpful thing is to put a label on it. That way you know what's inside. Otherwise, clear boxes are great. Let's take a look here.
That we have in the hallway just full.
Oh, there's another one of these boxes, and then there's actually a cardboard box, like a corrugated box. I wonder what's inside there.
Just
It's a big one, huh? It's a big box. And we have 2 vacuum cleaners. I wonder why. Now, I do know that her girlfriend just moved in with her, so maybe she has brought with her vacuum cleaner. And I understand that. When I moved in with my husband, we had 2 vacuum cleaners. We did consolidate down to 1 vacuum cleaner eventually, but it's interesting that there's 2 vacuum cleaners here.
I'm not sure how it's going to look afterwards, but here's a before.
Cat litter.
Okay,
Cool.
So we finished the closet. I don't know if you guys are going to notice a difference, but this is more organized and more of a system for us.
Okay, so is there new shelving in there? Is that new shelving?
I just feel like it doesn't over.
There's now, where there was the hamper, there's now a like a trash bag full of what maybe holiday decorations. I'm not really sure what's in here because I see some wrapping paper here that is in a plastic bag.
Love me so much because, like, especially our board games, they were just like everywhere. Our Christmas wrapping paper, literally everywhere.
Oh, those were cat carriers. I wonder what is in this Amazon box. I am so curious to what is in this very large Amazon box. Before you buy something, it has to have a home in your house before you actually press the purchase button or go up to the cash register and take it home. I can't talk today. Because otherwise you end up with this situation where there is a box that goes unopened for months, maybe even years, or things that stay in the shopping bag for months, years. I've seen lots of bags from the Container Store at clients' houses just waiting to be put away because they didn't have a home or purpose. So, this is interesting. Was that shelving there before or is that new? Okay, so I went back in the video and it looks like this shelving unit was added. I think that that's going to be really helpful. I do love if you can't install custom closets in your house. And this is a closet just with a shelf and a rod. And it's not really useful for storing things that aren't clothes. So that increases the vertical space. I love that. And plus it is movable. So you can move it out of there. Great for renters. I think it's a great solution. I do think that they must play a lot of board games because there's a lot of board games here. So I'm not going to hate on it. I think it's a good idea.
It doesn't overwhelm me so much because, especially our board games, they were just everywhere. Our Christmas wrapping paper, literally everywhere. So I just feel like it looks a lot better.
What I would have done, and this isn't bad, I don't mind this. What I would have done was to grab another shelving unit, definitely grab another shelving unit and use it to organize those big boxes. Those big boxes, if you need the one at the bottom, you're going to have a heck of a time lifting up all the boxes that are sitting on top of it to get to the bottom one. So having a big shelving system like Intermetro or even like freestanding Elfa or anything like that, or the Home Depot kind of generic wire shelving is going to make your life so much easier when you are not having the boxes sit on top of one another. That way you don't have to play Tetris when you're going to grab whatever's in those boxes. I am curious to what is in those boxes. Those are rather large storage boxes.
I am getting rid of this pile of stuff here.
Wow.
Like a grocery cart carrier situation, a blanket. Under here there's earrings, makeup brushes I've never used, purses, some books, and stuff like that. And then I'm also getting rid of all of these DVDs.
Not the Pokemon cards, no. So only because I'm a big nerd, I would have been I definitely would have sold the Pokemon cards. I think I don't personally have Pokemon cards. I do play Pokemon, the video games, but I don't have the actual cards, but I do know that they're worth something. People still collect those. So I would definitely have put those up on either Facebook Marketplace or eBay. But I mean, someone's going to get super lucky at the Goodwill with those. And that actually brings up a really interesting discussion that I usually have with people in terms of whether it's worth it to sell items or donate items. I think that it is up to, if items have real value to you that money would make a change in your life. Let's say you have a Chanel bag, right? You're most likely not going to just donate that to charity because listing things is so labor intensive. You have to take a picture of it. You have to decide on its value. You have to list it. You have to describe the item. If you want to sell the item online, you have to actually pack it up, put it in an envelope, take it to the post office, pay for the postage. It's a very involved process. So I always advise people, or if you take it to a consignment shop or whatever, I always advise people, I'm like, is it worth it to you to sell the item? Is your time worth the amount of money you're going to get from the sale of the item? Or is it more worth it to you to have that time and space back? So most of the time I say donate, but if it's like a Chanel purse or Pokemon cards, I usually recommend listing them.
But deep down, I just know I don't need these. I did keep some, but okay, so we have everything in the back of the trunk.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the Goodwill. Cute.
So we have made it to Goodwill, but it's closed, so we're just going to leave it out here.
Oh, no. No, don't do that. Okay, so we'll talk about a couple of things. So if your donation center is closed, I recommend that you wait until they're open and come back the next day. Even if the stuff has to sit in your car overnight or even for a week, I do not recommend that you leave the stuff outside. Goodwill and Salvation Army do not like it if you leave the items outside. They can become damaged. They can become, vandalized. The weather could damage them. So I definitely recommend wait until they're open. They will definitely be happy to help you. The other thing I'm going to recommend here is to donate pet products at an animal shelter. They will be so happy to see you pull up at the shelter with kitty litter, unopened dog food, old dog toys, blankets. A lot of donation centers that I work with and go to do not accept old blankets, things like towels, sheets, those kinds of things. But who does like them is animal shelters. They need towels and sheets and blankets to cradle the animals and give them some place to sleep. Just do a little research before you donate just to see what they accept. You can even give them a call. They often have what they will be willing to accept, especially at the time on their website. I do know that during the initial lockdown in 2020, there were a lot of donation centers with things just outside. People were dumping their items outside because we were spending a lot more time in our homes. I know I got a lot more calls in 2020 about people being disorganized and wanting to declutter all of their stuff, but they were getting fed up because they were looking at all their stuff all day and they were just dumping it and leaving it outside. So please do not do this to your local donation center. They will not be happy. Do yourself a favor and just wait. Yeah, because look at all of the stuff that's there already. So what happens if there is some weather? Like what happens if there's rain? What happens if there's, it's probably too late for snow at this point, but if there's a thunderstorm or even if there's a lot of wind, you have all of this stuff being damaged. If there's wind, you have stuff blowing into the street or into the sidewalk. Maybe it's hazardous to people walking by, people driving. So definitely 100%. Please avoid doing this. In some states, it's even considered illegal dumping. So I would highly suggest that you wait until the donation center is open. They can work with you. They're nice, believe me. And they'll tell you whether or not they can take something or not. Definitely someone on Craigslist would have taken that ring light in 5 seconds. Or another good website to go to or list things on. Facebook Marketplace, Free Cycle is great. What's the other one? Buy Nothing. Those are great places to list the things that you want to get rid of because somebody wants what you want to get rid of. I guarantee you, somebody's looking for a ring light. Definitely take the time and see who might really actually want it. A lot of those websites, you can just leave it out front and they'll come by and you can just watch the person come by and take it, or you can leave it in a location. You don't have to meet them. So, yeah. So in this video, we're doing some drawer organizing, which I think is always a good time. I think if you are starting to get organized in your home and you don't know where to start and you're intimidated by the amount of items and the amount of projects in your home to be done, start with a drawer. It's the least intimidating one because the drawer is so small that you can pretty much do it in an hour. If you really want to, you can focus. So let's see what she has done with the drawer. I have not seen this at all, so I'm very anxious to see what is actually happening here.
Okay, you guys, so we're going to do a little bit more deep cleaning here. I'm going to do kitchen drawers. So I want to show you, I have a few drawers in my kitchen that didn't really make sense. So here's the first one, this one, this one.
That one's fine. What's wrong with that one?
And then this one.
That looks fine too.
This one. Like, it's all just so...
Oh. So I get a lot of questions about how to organize your mail and how to, set up a system to where mail sorting and all that stuff. And I always tell people what they don't want to hear, and that is to open it when it comes in the house. There really is no good way to organize the mail. I have been at clients' houses before. They've had boxes and boxes upon boxes of unopened mail, bags. Sometimes they put it in those plastic grocery bags I've seen before, big paper grocery bags just of mail they just haven't opened. And what happens is after a few days of not opening the mail, it starts to feel insurmountable, the amount of envelopes that are adding up in the background, right? So the longer it tends to go, the more insurmountable the pile seems. Even if the pile is small, the amount of time that's passed between that time when the mail got to you and how long it's been since you've decided not to open it, it starts to feel really stressful for you to actually go and open it. And that's usually when people call me and I see there's a big pile of mail there, or even a little pile of mail that they've been avoiding, because it makes them so anxious. And I definitely understand this. I have done this in the past, which is why I'm always compassionate towards people that are exhibiting the same behavior. I understand it. And the best thing to do is when the mail comes in the house, rip off the Band-Aid. It's going to take you 5 minutes, I swear. Even if it's junk mail, even if it's a bill from Verizon, looks like there's several bills from Verizon here, or mailings, I don't know what they are. And just deal with them in whatever way you need to deal with them. If it's a bill, you should pay it. If it's an invitation, you should answer it. If it's a letter, read it and do whatever you do with letters. A lot of people get letters anymore, but if it's a card, open it. Maybe thank the person for the card. If it's a piece of junk mail, go ahead and put it in the shredder. There are very, very quick things you can do. And then it's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And you won't be late on a bill. The hardest lesson for me was the fees I paid from being late on bills because I was scared to open them. So my advice when I see this is to always just open it. Just open it. You may find that there's something good inside. When I go over to people's houses and organize, I always find checks. I find checks and I find cash, like big bills, like $100 bills, $50 bills. And then I used to have this sort of running joke about like, how much did I find, in your house today? I would go over and I'm like, oh, let's count the money. Whenever I would find money, I would put it in a pile and like, let's see how much we find at the end. And sometimes it can be a really significant amount. I'm like, go have a dinner.
Random.
Okay. I'm not going to talk bad about the towels and the oven mitts in the drawer. I don't think there's a problem with that. Maybe she can fold them a little bit better so that they're not so chaotic, but I don't think that that's a bad thing.
I just want to organize them better. Like, what is...
Wow, what's that stuff? I don't know.
This. And then this is just silverware, so...
Okay, that looks good.
But I'm going to show you those are before and then after. Okay, so... here we go.
Oh, okay. So it looks like that was the first drawer. I don't remember what it looked like before. We've got keys, we've got pens, scissors, looks like whiteboard pens, and like lots of keys. Like those like 2 sets of car keys, which, you know what? Not a bad place to be keeping them. I would recommend for sure. They've got 1 drawer organizer. Grab another one, maybe line the drawer even, especially in a rental. If you live in a rental, drawer liners are going to be your best friend. Some of them are a little bit tacky so that things don't move around so much when you open and close the drawer, especially the drawer organizer. That can be a real pain. But yeah, looks good.
Look how much better that looks. So that one. So this one is next to the fridge. This is where we're going to have like our drink station where it's like coffee stuff, tea stuff, water enhancers. So eventually this is going to be a lot more organized.
Okay. She's phase 1 on this, which is cool. So part of the decluttering process is organizing and decluttering and then implementing product if you need to buy product. So it looks like she's doing a good job with like the phase 1 of it all. It looks like she really likes these. And what I recommend is either to get drawer organizers, but actually to get a spice drawer organizer. That way they can sit up a little bit so they won't spill everywhere. Like I assume that there's liquid inside and not powder. That way she could sit them up in a row and they would look really cute. So that's what I would recommend for these. If she's really into having these, they could have a whole collection. Amberlynn, if you're watching, definitely get one of those spice organizers. Actually, I will put the products I'm recommending down in the description below if you want to pick them up.
A lot more organized. And here, this is actually
nothing
for spices.
Okay.
So you guys will see when I actually organize all that.
I hope she does the same thing. I hope she buys 2 sets of spice drawer organizers and uses one for the drink water enhancers and one for the actual spices. I think that using organizing products for other than what they were intended for or marketed for is really, really good. I do that all the time. Just because it says spice drawer organizer doesn't mean you can't use it for whatever you want. I can't figure out if they're reusable straws or disposable straws, but there are a lot of them. I think that they deserve their own drawer organizer. I do. Oh, look at those. Those are rolled. Those look, that's a really good solution. Okay. I like that they're rolled in there. I think they look really cute. Very good. Very good. If you can roll or do like a file fold in any drawer with any kind of fabric item, towel, blanket, t-shirt, whatever, it is so helpful. You can see everything just by looking down through the top. I think it's brilliant. Good job. Good job.
I figured this way. I was folding them the other way, like normal way, but I realized that they fit better like this.
No, that's brilliant.
You can see them all and choose which one you want.
Good job.
And then these. So
definitely.
Just these type of utensils.
You definitely need a drawer organizer. And not just a single drawer organizer. You might want to get something modular so that the drawer organizers come like you can one piece where you can just stick that in the drawer. Or what I prefer, if this drawer looks really small, like maybe like 8 inches, maybe, to get some modular drawer organizers where you can stick them in and you can have different sizes. And that way you can accommodate for the different sized items in the drawer if you have all these utensils. Again, definitely recommend a drawer liner so the drawer organizers or whatever you have in the drawer isn't sliding around. That can be really annoying. And also, the bottom of the drawers can tend to collect crumbs and stuff. So you want to just make sure that you are regularly cleaning out the bottom of the drawer. But I would definitely recommend some drawer organizers here. It's not cluttered. It just looks a little wild in the drawer. So I would definitely contain it with some drawer organizers.
And measuring cups, stuff like that. Here's just like some miscellaneous stuff.
We've got candy, looks like a lighter, and something I don't know what is that. A box opener? What is that?
I don't know. This is supposed to like keep bad spirits.
Oh, is that sage and stuff? Okay.
Some coasters. This is for incense.
Oh,
I don't really do incense, but it's good to have.
Oh, this drawer is fun.
When I light candles, open boxes.
Okay. I mean, I would keep the same. If you have the box opener is something I recommend keeping in the entryway. I've just recently started doing this, and it's the best thing you can do for yourself because it forces you to actually open the box. When you bring it in the house, you're like, oh, there's a box opener right there. I'm going to grab it and boop, 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 open the box, break it down. Gone like that. So definitely recommend keep things where you use them. I think that she's actually doing a good job of keeping things where she uses them, especially with the Mio, with the water enhancers. They were near the fridge. They were near where she was preparing her flavored water. So I think that was a really good habit. And I don't know. I think that was really good.
And such. Here's just some
masks.
Extra face masks because 2022. Here is Becky's mail that she has to come get. So,
is that her outbox? I always recommend that if you are, if there's something in your house that needs to leave, it's a really good idea to establish an outbox. We have outboxes in our email. We have outboxes in, like, if you work in an office and there's stuff that needs to go, like documents that need to leave, you have an outbox. Probably not so much anymore. That's probably like way before email was king, but stuff that needs to leave, like if somebody left something over your house or things that you're going to donate, they really need to go in an outbox. This is valuable storage space that she has in her home. So maybe she doesn't need this storage space and it can be an outbox, but chances are she may forget about it when it needs to be collected. So I always advise that people use that outbox near the door, near their entrance or exit, whatever, just so that they remember that it's there on their way out so that they can usher it out the door when it's appropriate.
She has to come get. So looking good. And then of course,
That's cute.
this is what happened in the middle of me organizing.
If it fits, I sits.
The cabinets. Rarity and Wasabi made themselves a home.
Okay, we'll talk about one last little segment. This is from the Let's Go Shopping and Clean With Me vlog. I noticed that there were a lot of people talking about this candle collection.
For the kitchen.
Okay, so she's got this like really shallow closet in her kitchen, it looks like.
And then I have all these wax melts.
Okay. Well, it looks like she has a collection. So let's talk about hoarding versus collection. I know that hoarding and hoard and hoarder is a term that people have been throwing around or using very flippantly in the past maybe 10 or so years. And I'm always very deliberate when I use the word hoarder. Hoarding is an actual behavioral disorder. It is in the DSM. I think it is related to obsessive compulsive sort of disorders, but it is its own disorder in itself. And I do not use that word to describe people who have collections or people who are clutter bugs or happen to have a lot of clutter. People who are actually hoarding have real trouble letting go of the items. They may be bringing items into their home indiscriminately. Some higher levels of hoarding, and hoarding occurs in various stages or levels. And some of the higher levels of hoarding, you can run into issues getting around the house. There often are paths where you can walk, and the other part of the house is filled with items. It is a very, very serious condition that takes people a long time to recover from. I don't flippantly throw that term around. I've heard it referred to in terms of talking about this YouTuber. I don't think Amberlynn Reid is a hoarder. I do think that she has a lot of items. And I do think that it would probably be beneficial to have fewer items. But if she's happy with having these many wax melts and candles, that's none of my business. And as long as she can manage them, if she's got trouble managing them, that's another issue altogether. And collecting versus hoarding is something that a lot of people need to think about when they throw those terms around. Collecting is very different. People are very curated about their collections. They're often all in one place. They're displayed. People are often very proud of their collections, and they are usually curated. People collect. I know I collect houseplants. I have a lot of them, and I have a lot of fun taking care of them and doting over them and stuff. I don't know what her candle burning habits are like. This seems like a lot to deal with, but maybe they make her happy. So who am I to judge? Now let's talk about the infamous egg container.
And then I was fixing to buy one of these on Amazon, but I forgot that I had one. Babe, where did you find this? Oh. It was in the top cabinet. It's a little egg holder.
So in hearing that, I was going to talk about the egg container, but I do want to talk about the fact that she didn't know that she already had one and then she was going to buy one. That is something I encounter a lot when working with people, is that they buy repeats of items because they don't know they have items. That is a signal to you and a signal to me that you might want to take inventory of your items if you don't realize that you actually had them or you bought them and you didn't realize. And that brings me to the thoughts I had about mindful shopping. I do practice and encourage my clients to practice mindful shopping, which means that when you buy an item or when you're thinking about buying an item, that you have a job for it when it gets to your home and you have a place for it to live before it even gets in your home. If you can't fit it, if you don't have space for it and you don't know what you're going to do with it, it doesn't belong in your shopping cart and you should remove it right now. So I'm telling you, whoever needs to hear this, you should remove it right now, because the what ifs and the somedays usually don't occur. So when she bought the egg container the first time, it really would have been a good idea to implement it into her organizing system then, instead of waiting. I don't know how long it's been since she's purchased it. Let's see what she says about it.
Oh, I'm happy we found that. Organization is everything.
Okay, so she didn't talk about the egg container, and I noticed there's a lot of talk about the egg container and how stupid it is. So I will just share my thoughts from a professional organizer about this egg container. So I have actually been, okay, well, first I want to say that the egg container that the eggs come in from the grocery store is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that container. And it is a thing to buy a separate egg container. The plastic egg container that you see here is actually much harder than the cardboard egg container that you'll get from the store. So it will increase the amount of storage space you have in your fridge because it's got a solid surface. You may store things on top of this egg container. I don't think it keeps the eggs fresher or anything like that. It just increases your storage space. When you take the eggs out of their original container, you should put them in the new container the same way they came in. Eggs always go in pointy side down. There is a whole bacterial reason for it. They last longer that way, pointy side down. I have recently graduated from using these kinds of containers to using an egg drawer because I just wanted to double my storage space because we eat a lot of eggs and I can store things on top of the container and actually pull the egg drawer out. It took me a while to find one where the eggs went in pointy side down, and a lot of those egg storage containers, they laid on their side, which we don't go through enough eggs to store them that way. But I don't think the egg container is stupid. I think it increases your storage space. I do find that I outgrew this container because I was tired of taking the lid off when I was going to get eggs and then subsequently taking whatever I was storing on top of the egg container off. So we have graduated to a drawer. So those are my thoughts on the infamous dumb egg container. So that is it from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it entertaining. I always applaud anyone's efforts to organize and declutter their home. I think Amberlynn's doing a great job in improving her relationship with her home. We are all in relationships with our homes, whether we want to admit it or not. It's up to you whether it's dysfunctional or functional. I just always ask that we be respectful in the comments. We are here to learn from each other and to just talk about home organizing. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.